Looming is another widely popular technique. You can weave geometric or pictorial strips of beading that are densely threaded and strong, but still very flexible. Looming produces a squared stitch. Patterns are charted and will call for a specific type of bead to produce the desired result. Looming with oval seed beads will produce a different look than with cylinder beads like delicas or treasures. You'll need a loom, but you can start with a small, inexpensive loom. And if you like the technique, you can upgrade later according to your budget and your design goals. Long needles are essential for looming. Match the size of the needle to the size of the beads. Nylon beading thread in size D is a good choice for looming with seed beads, but if you're using larger, heavier beads, you may need a more substantial thread like conso bonded nylon. You'll start each project by putting the warp threads on the loom. These are the long vertical threads between which the beads will be placed as you weave. The method used to put the warp on the loom will vary by manufacturer. Follow the warping directions that come with your loom to put the threads in place. Add one warp thread for each bead in the width of your pattern, then add one more. The beads are held in place between warp threads with horizontal threads called weft. To attach the first weft thread to the warp, tie it to the outer warp thread in a simple knot, leaving enough of a tail to secure in the beadwork later. If you're right-handed, tie the thread on the left side. Left-handed loomers should tie onto the right side. Your thread should be long enough to make at least 5 or 6 rows of the weave. Load all the beads of the first pattern row onto the weft thread. I like to work from the top down, but you can work from the bottom up as well. Position the beaded thread under the warp threads and spread the beads out so each individual bead falls between 2 warp threads. Press the beads upward with your fingers. Then run the thread back through all the beads in the opposite direction so the thread runs on top of the warp threads. Try not to pierce the warp threads with the needle. Now tighten the thread and adjust the tension so the beads sit neatly within the warp. The warp threads may be drawn inward when you do this. Add rows in the same manner until you need to rethread. Attach a new weft thread as you did the first weft thread. When the new thread is established, you can weave the tail into the loom work. Don't cut the tails right at the edge, or the looming may come undone. When the looming is complete, remove your beautiful creation from the loom and finish the thread ends. You can tie them into fringes or weave them into the looming. This is Ann Benson from beadseast.com. I hope you'll enjoy looming as much as I do. Thanks for joining me, and please join me again soon.